This game is not just big, it is defining. And the most interesting part? Pep Guardiola himself just gave us a blueprint without fully saying it. Let's break this down properly, differently, and deeper. Everything about this moment screams pressure, but Pep refuses to frame it that way. He said it clearly. It's just a football game. That sounds simple, but it is actually a psychological strategy. Because the moment you treat it like a final, you risk losing control emotionally. But make no mistake, this is a final in disguise. Pep even admitted it indirectly. If they lose, it could be over. That is not theory, that is reality in a title race against Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. Now here is where it gets interesting tactically. Pep hinted at something crucial when he joked about changing the pressing structure again. He did not reveal anything, but that tells you one thing clearly. He is not going to repeat the same game plan Arsenal already saw. That matters because in the Carabao Cup final, Manchester City overwhelmed Arsenal in phases, especially in the second half. The pressing became more aggressive, more man-oriented, and Arsenal struggled to play through it. But Pep also admitted something many people ignored. They were not dominant for the full game. That is the key weakness Arsenal can target. Let's analyse what that means on the pitch. Manchester City's biggest strength right now is their ability to control momentum in phases. They do not need 90 minutes, they just need 20 to 30 minutes of control to kill you. But Arsenal's strength this season? Consistency across phases. Pep said it himself. Arsenal are strong in build-up, strong in second balls, strong in transitions, strong in pressing, dangerous in set pieces. That is a complete team. So this becomes a contrast of styles. City, control in moments. Arsenal, control across the game. Now think about the Etihad factor. At home, City do not just play better, they play more aggressively. The crowd, the confidence, the rhythm, it all pushes them forward. Pep confirmed the mentality. The team is confident, ready, and fully aware of the opportunity. But confidence is fragile. He also said something very honest. They are still not at their best level. That is huge, because it means City are dangerous, but not perfect. So what does Arsenal need to do? First, survive the early storm. City will come out fast, not just to score, but to control the emotion of the game. If Arsenal concede early, the entire dynamic shifts. But if they hold firm, doubt creeps into City, and that is when the game opens. Second, exploit transitions. Pep highlighted Arsenal's ability in transitions for a reason. He knows that is where City are vulnerable when they commit numbers forward. When City push, spaces appear. That is where players like Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice become decisive. This is not a slow build-up game. This is a moment game. Third, win individual battles. Pep made it very simple at the end. Football at this level comes down to duels, 1 versus 1, physicality, mental strength, who wins their moment. Because tactics can only take you so far. At some point, it becomes personal. Now here is the deeper psychological layer. Pep spoke about Arsenal's 22-year wait for the title. That is not just history, that is pressure. He knows it, the players know it, everyone knows it. And in games like this, that wait can either push you to greatness or freeze you completely. But here is the twist. Pep also said he enjoys watching Arsenal. He learns from them. That is not just respect, that is acknowledgement. Arsenal are no longer chasing, they are competing as equals. So what decides this game? Not just tactics, not just form, not just quality. It is control of emotion under pressure. If City control the tempo, they win. If Arsenal control the moments, they win. And Pep knows something else. He said, "We have to be almost perfect to beat them." That is not something you say lightly. That is a warning. So when Sunday comes, forget the hype. Forget the narratives. Watch the first 20 minutes. Watch the duels. Watch who takes responsibility. Because that is where this game will be decided. Now let me ask you directly. Do you see Arsenal handling that pressure at the Etihad? Or does Pep's experience edge it again?